Okay, welcome to day 6 of me attempting to make a roguelike by learning how entity component systems works, by learning how Rust works. We've just finished chapter 2.3, a more interesting map, and we've got this going, and we can in fact hit refresh here, and we can get a really neat looking sort of roguelike map, but everything's lit up. So there's no real exploration that can happen yet, but we can see every time we hit refresh, we get moved to the center of a new room, and we have a bunch of rooms that are all connected by corridors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rooms here. We did have code in here which set the max rooms to 30, but we reject any overlapping rooms. So there's going to be up to 30, but probably not 30 because, oops, I meant to hit refresh here. Like here, there's very few rooms because probably a lot of them overlapped. We have this little interesting thing here, right, where we've got like a double corridor going on. Probably because this room got connected to this room by coming through here and then down here. So the map generation isn't great yet, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually. And if not, we can write it ourselves. So next we're going to look at field of view. And a second now, field of view. I'm going to change my Wi-Fi. Hang on. Interrupt my Wi-Fi connection, and then I should have gotten this set up before I started. Here. Now I'll hit reload, and it should come up. There we go. That's better. Field of view. All right, we have a nicely drawn map, but it shows the whole dungeon. That reduces the usefulness of exploration. If we know where everything is, why bother exploring? In chapter 12, field of view, and adjust rendering to show the parts of the map we've already discovered. Also refactor the map into its own structure rather than just a vector of tiles. Okay. This chapter starts with the code from chapter 4. So that's what we've got. This is chapter 4, and we're currently all checked in, right? All good. We'll keep map-related functions and data together to keep things clear as we make an ever more complicated game. The bulk of this is creating a new map structure and moving our helper functions into its implementation. All right, so if I just scan through this real quick, I'm looking to see, and it looks like basically we've just put all the functions as an implementation on map. And map now has tiles, rooms, a width, and a height. Okay, so this is good. We're actually encoding the width and height in the map structure rather than hard coding it. This is interesting. Self width is use size times self height is use size. Why not just make them use sizes to begin with? And then here we want to change this to the same thing. Right? Boom, boom, boom. What do we got? Yeah, see, 80, 50, 80, 50. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. I think we're stuck with 80-50 because we're using a basic RLTK builder simple 80 by 50 map. So we have to use 80 by 50 for now, and we can change it later, I assume. I haven't looked at RLTK builder to see what other options there are for maps. But meanwhile, let's refactor the map. They've got the tile type in here. I think I do too. Lib map. I do. Pubinum tile type wall floor. And then, okay, so here's where we have our struct. Pub struct map. Pub tiles. Vec of tile type. Pub rooms. Vec of rect. Pub width. I32 and pub, whoops. Pub height, also I32. And then all of these just are implementations on map. So impl map, let's shift all those over. fix any wraparounds. Yep, here's a wraparound. Apply horizontal tunnel, but just this one. There. And then I want to get rid of this guy. We don't need new map test. Do they still have new map test in here? Nope. Okay, let's get rid of it. It's old. It was just used to demonstrate the triple slash rust doc. All right. There's changes in main and player 2. See the example source for all the details. See? Okay. You know what we're going to do is we're going to get it to compile. That's how we're going to make those same changes in main and player. And where's draw map? Draw map is not in here. Okay, so maybe draw map got moved to, or maybe draw map stays outside. Let's find out. All right, so this is the map. And now we're going to change the way we return things. We're going to return a map. That's what has to change in the main, right? Because now we're going to be giving it a map instead of a tuple. So we're going to create a new map. And we're going to say tiles is a vec of our tile type. And instead of semicolon, we'll put a comma, rooms, vec new. Okay, so I don't know if they explain it here, but one of the things Rust does for you is it figures out types of things on its own. So we're not specifying what type of vector this is. But later on, when we do a rooms.push, Rust can see, oh, this is what's being pushed here. It's a rect. So this must be a vec of type rect. So we don't have to actually specify it here. Width is 80 and height is 50. And this should be, those should be constants for now. And you know, it would be nice to be able to pass those in, but we're not going to do that. Those lines stay the same. We still do this. We still do all of this. So instead of calling apply room to map, we can call map.apply room to map. Which makes, okay, well, we can change the naming later. And then map.rooms is empty. We get a new room center, map.rooms. RNG range, map.apply. And map.apply. And this is also map.apply. And this is map.apply. Put a space there. I mean, new line there and a new line there. And then it's map.rooms.push, and we just return map. Okay, and then there's changes in main and player. They said, okay, we know main has to change because now it's taking a map. Right? Insert map.tiles, I guess. And this map.rooms0. And then what has to change in player? Lib player. Oh, let map ECS fetch probably map. No, we're still inserting the map. I wonder if we... I wonder if we do this and then insert the map instead of just the tiles. Like that. Right? And that way we can fetch the map. from the player's point of view. Source lib player. What else do we do with map here? Map.tiles dest. That's all we do. Okay. Let's see if that builds. What did I blow up? Oh, everything. Okay. What do we got? Not function. Oh, so this would be map.xyindex. Right? Oh yeah, and then we have to change these things. I forgot. Okay, self dot, so xy idx has to change to self dot. All of these have to be changed to mute self, right? Apply room to map. We have to switch around the parameters. And then new map, okay, and it's a pub already. What else do we need to change? And we have to change, oh, xyidx has to be self. And all these have to be self.tiles, right? Self.tiles, self.tiles. That's it. All right, and then I'm going to say let last maybe is equal to self.width times self.height as, and we're doing as usize. Change it to last and change this to last. Oops, what did I do? All right, copy this line, put it down here. So that, I think that's those changes. All the self.tiles have been changed. Nothing else looks like it changed, but we'll find out as things blow up. That's interesting. IDX is an I32. So why do we have to do this if IDX is already an I32? I'm going to take a look at that. But for now, let's see what builds. We'll see what doesn't build. Oh, expected 3 arguments and supplied 4, right? So apply under, right? We're going to do that to all of them. That just takes that. This does not need a, oh, it fits. And that fits. I think I have to remove the map too. There. Okay. What else blows up? Oh, and player needs the map dot. This is an associated function, not a method. Huh. Oh, it does take self. Okay. They did change that. Let self. And we'll do this here. So it returns a usize, right? So this is returning usize. So we don't need to IDX as usize because it should be already a usize. I'm going to try that. Self dot width. Oh, I see. Because we're multiplying a U32 now by a U size. So if I say as I32, oops, I must have hit a help button or something. I should disable that. Okay, will that work? And then this is saying IDX is U size. I'm going to try removing that just from this one and see if that builds. Nope. Oh, right, we have to fix this to be self dot, and this has to be map.rooms.iter. Okay. That's a self dot, that's a self dot, self dot. Okay, and then rooms.iter, map.rooms.iter. We're getting close, and then and then player. Map.rooms, rooms.len -1. So this should be map.rooms.len -1. Okay, let me fix this one first. XY, map dot. Okay, and then rooms dot map dot rooms. There we go. Dot center. That looks pretty ugly. Build. Not quite there. Ooh. Cannot borrow is mutable. Second mutable borrow is there. More than once at a time. Okay, so I think what we have to do is separate that out, right? In player or here, where we're calling XYIDX. This line is in the map on line 51, where we say self tiles self XYIDX. And then in player, we're calling it, all right, on line 13, and here in map, source live map, on 51. So we're applying a room to, oh, this is, okay. So I think what I need to do is just separate these. Let lock equals that. And then change this to lock. And then what's wrong? What are we doing here? Well, I mean, first let's see. Does this get rid of that first error? Oh, mismatch closing delimiter now. I broke it. Yep, okay, there. Cannot borrow as mutable. All right. We don't need to, that doesn't need to be mutable, right? In XYIDX, we can just pass in self. That's probably, yeah. Okay, my mistake. Oh, and then I have to say map dot. Right, map : : source main, new, right, map : : value borrowed here after move. Okay, we can get the center before we do it. What do they do here? This is in main, where we insert the map and then we get the center. Oh, okay. Oof. And we're not looking at their main because we're masochists. Okay, vim source main. All Odie, thank you for the follow. So if we grab the center before we do the insert, that should work. He says, hopefully. Oh, it worked. Okay, so now if we refresh, it should look exactly the same. Ah! That worked well. All right, what did we break? Git diff. So we have the map. We should be, we return the map. Draw map hasn't changed. And we haven't changed any sizes or anything like that. All of this code is exactly the same. Oh, well, I mean, I should change this to map width and map height, right? But that's not going to break it. Or that's not what's broken. This thing's still running, right? Yep, that's still running. A little web server. But it's coming up blank. Refresh. Nope. Map rooms push. And then when we draw the, oh, maybe the draw map needs to lib map. There's some changes to draw map. You pass in map tile type. What do we call draw map? And tick, right? Which is in, no, source lib mod. Source lib mod. I'm trying to go too fast now. Yeah, tick. Oh, here we go. So it's not finding a map to draw. So we got to fetch the map, and then we have to pass in the map.tiles. Right. Yay, okay, so exactly the same as it was before. A map refactor. So what I want to do now is, it would be nice to pass in the map, say draw map map. So can we do that? And then for every instance of the word map, we need to say map.tiles.iter. Oh, that was the only one. Does this work? It builds and it runs. Okay. What else we got? I wanted to change map code. There's no reason to do as use size here. Right? And this I think I can change back to right? I can change this back to this because now I'm not borrowing the XY index mutably. Nope. And of course I quit out of the thing. That's too bad. And change this back to lock. All right. And this still makes a roguelike. Okay, so this is a big map refactor. Git status, git add source, git commit refactor map into its own struct. All right, so that accomplished quite a bit. That was an interesting way to learn Rust by hacking on this kind of stuff. I need to end here, and next time we'll start with the field of view component. Thank you very much for watching.